Ahoy! I'm not sure if Viltrox was listening to me, but in one of my past videos I said, I wish I had a lens with a lot lower aperture. I meant Sony lens, but the reason I didn't have it was the cost. Viltrox sent me this lens, AF 24mm f1.8 FE for full frame Sony cameras. With this lens you can save $1,000 if budget is your thing. For the new faces, my name is Zdenka Darla. If photography and video is something you're passionate about, consider subscribing to this channel. I've been using very similar Viltrox lens with Canon M6 Mark II and I absolutely love it. I'm thrilled that Sony now has this kind of a lens available as well. It's very much like the Sony 24GM, except it is way cheaper. Let's have a closer look at this lens. The lens weighs 340 grams. Dimensions are 70 by 85 millimeters. It is made of 11 optical elements in 9 groups. It is out-of-focus lens, but it doesn't have image stabilization. Maximum aperture is f1.8 and minimum aperture is f16. Minimum focal distance is 30 centimeters. Angle of view is 84% and maximum magnification is 0.1 time. The lens barrel is metallic. The design is actually quite nice. The lens mount is also made of metal. It comes with metallic aperture ring, which doesn't have clicks. The lens hood is plastic as well, and lens cap. This lens doesn't have much focus breathing because the lens's filter size is fairly small, 55 millimeters. You've got USB-C port right here, so you can plug it in to update the firmware. I quickly got outside because I would like to see how is the autofocus with this lens, if it is going to hunt with the Sony A7S III or not, how is the combination going to be like. So I'm going to be moving back and forth a little bit. I'm going to be playing and see if the focus is keeping up with my movements. So as I'm going closer and I'm going back and I look at the screen myself so I can see what's going on. And I can see that no issues whatsoever. It's beautiful. It's just focusing very nice. Yeah. I was using this lens for past 2 weeks for some of the product shots for the previous videos, and my first reaction was just like, wow, I'm so happy I can use this lens with such a low aperture. When you are doing these close-up shots, it's just beautiful. Night filming is also way easier as it lets more light in. Focus ring is very quiet, which is quite important when you do videos. So let's actually see, there's a tiny bit of a sound there. The automatic mode on the aperture ring has a little bit of a resistance, which just prevents you from accidentally turning it away from the automatic mode if you want to keep it that way. But if you want to film manually darkly on the lens, you can certainly change the aperture there by turning the aperture ring. It doesn't have any clicks, it is clickless. I took it out to film some examples in different aperture values to see the quality of the lens, and I was using the Freewell variable ND filter, which is 67mm with the step down ring, because I use it with my other TAMRON lenses. For those wondering how it would look like here in the studio, this lens, right now I'm using TAMRON 17 to 28mm. The focal length I have is 20mm and the aperture is f2.8. So let me actually switch to this lens and see how much view you get with 24 millimeters. Now I have the Viltrox lens on. The ISO went down from 250 to 100. The aperture again is f1.8, before it was 2.8. The shutter speed is 1/50th because I'm filming at 24 frames per second. This is the view you're gonna get. And lastly, let's check out some photos and see the image quality. Let's start with aperture f1.8. The center is nice and sharp as you would expect. Corners are nice and soft. In the middle it has a lot of contrast. Once you go up with aperture to f2.8, the corners are nice and soft again, and center is sharp with great contrast. If you go higher, f4 for example, middle is sharp and corners are starting to look much clearer. Let's go to f5.6 and f8.0. Just like the Canon version of the Viltrox lens, this one is amazing as well. It's certainly awesome to have in a camera bag. You need to have one prime lens with such a low aperture. It's just, and this focal length is so popular. You can do so many shots with this. Recently, all my outdoor videos here on YouTube are filmed pretty much with those lenses. On the Canon M6 Mark II, I rarely use the kit lens because these Viltrox lenses are giving such a nice, clear and professional look. Thank you Viltrox for making this lens available for Sony cameras as well. International links to this product can be found below the video in the video description. Hit the thumbs up if you found this video informative and subscribe to future videos. Next video coming up, we are gonna be filming outdoors again. Another tutorial is coming up. If you have any questions, comments, simply want to say hi or ahoy, you know what to do. Leave it below and I'll see you my friends in the next video. Ciao, ahoy.